Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee with Lisa. I'm spiritual coach Lisa Hop. It is Sunday, May 3rd, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. For those of you who listen all the time, thank you. I'm so grateful and so blown away when people tell me they've been listening. Because you don't always comment and you don't have to, but I'm grateful that I can impact you hopefully in a positive way, because that was the whole point of this podcast when I started it more than several years ago. And for those of you who discovered it new and are here, welcome. Please check out my website at lisahop.com. I'm also on Facebook under the verified page, Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. It's my business page. It will put inspirational messages, and I've got exciting news I'm about to tell you about. It'll also put upcoming events, and some of them are, if you're not in my area of New Jersey, are available via Zoom. And appointments, most are available via telephone as well. And I'm on Instagram under Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. I'm on TikTok too, and I'm going to be posting there actually later today, and that is at Lisa M. Hop. And why am I posting there later today? Because I released this week a bundle of meditations called the Sacred Alignment Series. Finally got them recorded, have other things, other digital products in the works. And these recordings are just really about 6 minutes per meditation. And it aligns these recordings with what I'm speaking to you today about, which is the topic, yes, heaven is with you. And the first meditation is alignment with Source. Source is Source, God, quantum energy, highest energy, aligning with that. Because in all honesty, that Source energy is aligning with us. It has been talking to me this week. It's coming to us rather than waiting for us to more fully come to it, because of the times that we're in. And that's a good thing, by the way. It's not fear-based. But moving on, there's another meditation, wealth and abundance, health and healing, love and heart alignment, and the last one, which we may need sometimes or often, releasing fear. Even a wealth and abundance meditation has about releasing fear about wealth. And abundance and wealth is not just about money. It's about living an abundant life in every way. So they're all interrelated, interconnected. And what I love about this series, because I am one that would love to be able to devote every day, and perhaps, yes, there are people who feel I should devote every day 45 minutes to an hour or more in meditation. But life can get away from us. So I like smarter, shorter, but maybe they are smarter. I don't know. That was a flip. But I like the shorter meditations. So you can listen to them morning, and you can listen to them afternoon. You can listen to them evening. But yes, you will have your eyes closed, so not while driving, not while working equipment, of course. But they're there when you have a moment, or when you just want to start your day off right, And so on Instagram later today, and on TikTok, and probably on my Facebook page too, I'm going to be putting a little snippet of it, maybe about 20-30 seconds. But honestly, it's this wonderful voice you're hearing with some wonderful music telling you to release. And I am grateful. I am grateful for those who have purchased it already and just said, oh, it's available. I'm going in. I love this. You know how much fun it is? Maybe you don't. But I would tell you it's much fun to have the email notification that a purchase has been made, because you get the digital download immediately upon purchase. It's yours. And I don't have to do it. I've already done it. I've already loaded it. Now, I'm new at this whole digital store thing, but I will have other products coming out. And so, meaning it's not an elaborate store, it's really just a connection to you to purchase this for yourself and then download it to any device. And the store is at StanStore. So it's STAN.store. Serenity Harbor, which is my business name. Did I say that correctly? And so it's Serenity with an S, Harbor with a capital H. So capital SERENITY, capital HARBOR, stan.store /SerenityHarbor. Go there. Get it. It's $33 for 5 meditations, about 30 minutes of meditations altogether. 33 is the number. It's the number of guidance. And I was guided to offer you digital products because we need resources. We want resources as we live this everyday life. So back to our topic today. Yes, heaven is with you. And what I mean by that is that every single week I hear from people, and I understand, believe me, because I always say I'm human. I understand. I am not perceiving my loved ones. I feel all alone. I feel that isolation. What is happening? We are looked after, provided for, whether we perceive it or not. So there is no need, I'm being told to tell you this right now, there's no need to live in fear. Just turn to your source and God's source itself. And you can call it you don't even have to be someone who calls God God. All right? You can call it quantum energy, source, highest energy. I'm not sure it's energy, whatever you want to call it, it's with you. And it is being verbal right now in a way I don't know that it's ever been that way before. I haven't been here for centuries, but it used to be a little bit more, perhaps, I don't want to say special, but God wasn't, doing in a Mount Sinai kind of appearance as it is now this energy starting to do. It's coming. If you pray to God, I wouldn't be surprised if you hear a voice answer you back, or you in some way get words coming at you or numbers coming at you. But this week I've been hearing the voice, and the voice is telling me to align with love, to stay with love, to be fearless, to stay calm. And calm's a big word. Stay calm, no matter what. Now, for those of you who live in fear-based more, because some of us do deal, respectfully so, with anxiety, with thoughts that get away from us. By the way, we're being told, control the thoughts. Stop letting the thoughts rule you. You are supposed to rule the thoughts, all right? And rule the emotions. You have choices every single second of every day about how you feel, about what you say, about how you live. You're in charge. You are. So we are being reminded now constantly to use this power within us because it transforms. So for those of you again who will say, you're telling me fearless, why? Is there something to fear? Reframe that. Please reframe that. Do not fear. When you hear that line, fear is an illusion, that's really truth. Fear is an illusion. It's made up within us. We're not in this time where we have to fear survival. We are so well off. Think about your blessings that you have. Most of us do have access to a washer, a dryer. We have access to water. We have access to food. We do. Even if it's hard for us to have in our own home, there's now more communities, which I predicted in November that this would happen. Communities would come together more. They would have to, and it's happening. Community gardens, Oh my gosh, there's so miraculous things happening right now. Pay attention. Pay attention, because it's it's us, and it's God working to get us transformed. That transformation. So what do I mean? We're going there are people going farm to table more. Supporting the small farmers because they have to, because the big farmers are in trouble. Our way of life has shifted, but the village is coming together, led by God's source. God's source, Jesus. Anybody you would turn to with prayer, they're part of the team that is moving us to that safe place. We are safe. We are okay. But know that you are powerful. And if you fear something enough, you get it. If you hate, you get hate back at you. So watch what you may. Most people listen to me are very spiritual, but let's say you celebrate some hateful stuff, some negativity, they've gotten theirs. It's going to bounce back to you like a boomerang. Don't live in fear of it. Just be really careful and know that what you put out is going to come back. So watch yourself. I'm watching myself all the time because, again, I'm human and I have moments. We all can have moments, but love those moments. Love yourself. Love who you are. Be on your own team. And then from that place, go to the grander version of yourself. I see I'm like this today, and I am still awesome. I am still good. I think I want to be like that, though. And that's okay, as long as you're not negative about yourself. As long as you are not mean and negative about others. And believe me, we are tested, aren't we? We'll see people who aren't that kind, or people who get off on harming others. We think people get away with things. There are natural laws of the universe that control all that. Nobody gets away with anything. Everything is aligned to serve. Energy is always interacting. There's the law of cause and effect. There's the law of rhythm, where things go up and things go down. That's why people who are very wealthy know that to not live in fear of financial flux. Because sometimes your bank account goes way up, and sometimes it stalls and goes down, or it stalls and goes down, but it'll always go up again. It's the flux. But a lot of us are not raised like that. We're raised to fear the flux. There's no need to fear the flux, because Source will tell you, I provide. I provide. Even if I don't directly, in your view, provide money, I'm going to provide the way for you to get money. I'm going to provide the person who shows up at your door with the casserole. I am going to provide the way that your car runs just a quarter mile more in that empty gas. I've had that happen to me, by the way, but it's been decades. I don't test that like I used to. But that's provision. That is provision. That's God, your angels. Anybody connected to you that's helping you, because we all have guides. We have large guides and just normal size guides who are there for us. We also have our departed loved ones. So here's the thing about departed loved ones, and that's those that love us and those we loved. And those who love us may not be the ones we know. They may be some of the older generations or people that you didn't get to know. But what I adore about them is that on earth they were just like us. They had their perhaps their poverty mentality. You have to work hard for the money. There's, money doesn't grow on trees, or, all the things that were dropped down to them. They had their story, perhaps their blocks of how much they could show love or how they fully showed love, depending on their person. They had all the hiccups that we can go through. Then they get over to heaven, this massively immeasurable, accepting energy, profound energy, indescribable energy of love. Because God is love. Source is love. That's why it's telling us to get into the love. The kind of love you feel it so much it makes you cry. That love. That's what's in heaven. But even multiplied more. So they're over there, and they now know. They never had to live in fear. They never had to worry. They never had to stress. They just had to ask, know that they deserved it, open up and receive. So they're sitting over on the other side, in that other side of the veil, and they're smiling away. And they're trying to help us, honestly, not to be like them. Right? Because they know what they did. They know what they did. And they're trying to fix it. But here's the thing. You can't fix and save someone. You can only kind of work on them a little bit. And let's say for you, and with our loved ones, they work on us while we're sleeping. They work on us when we're zoned out. They talk in our ear. That's how they help us. But they can't change us entirely, because we have the programming that they gave us, that society has given us, that whatever we're exposed to has given us the belief system that's been programmed. So our beliefs are reprogrammable, and I can help you with that. I do that. But you can even self-reprogram yourself. That's what we know now. That's part of the possibilities and probabilities of our lives. So, here on earth, though, when we're still here, it's important to know you can't fix someone and save them unless they want to be. Yes, I help people reprogram. I help them to connect to heaven. I help them to live their more fuller life, their larger version life. If they come to me for that, if they ask for that, I'm here. I am here to serve, as I've always known since I was a little tyke, as a spiritual teacher. But nowadays, God has asked me to be more on the God team, even more than ever. Not that I had moments in my 20s, but I always was, in some level. Of course, I'm doing the work I do full time because I am, but it's even more so. It is literally joining the team and being a part of that team. And I'm noticing a shift. And if you join that team as well fully, and I'll tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you a wonderful story next. If you do it fully, you'll see a shift too. And this shift is so subtle. I've noticed things. I'm using different words. But I'll tell you though that my business page on Facebook got cloned so someone could try and scam people. And it was cloned into a personal page, not a business page. And they would write people and try to FaceTime them and call them dear. And that's one thing. My shift, I'm not going to call you dear. All right? So if you ever think it's me and I'm calling you dear, it is definitely not me. It's just not encompassing me, who I am personally. But am I using words like beautiful more and lovely and just other wonderful words? Yes, I'm noticing how I speak. I'm also coming out and just saying I love you to people that I didn't do before. I was more, I don't want to say blocked, but I watched comfort level with that. I didn't want to say it to people who might not be comfortable with it. And now it's just there. It's just flowing out. So this shift is for the better. It's for the good, and it's who I am becoming and who I am. I am God's force now. I am love more. I am successful, anything you put after I am defines your future, defines yourself, defines your life. So I want to tell you a wonderful story that I heard from somewhere, and I'm going to cut it and paraphrase it. But it's a wonderful story. And it is more religious based, but make it your own, all right? Because I'm an interfaith minister, all right? And again, you can be of any background. You can even not even believe in religion, all right? But this story has truth to it, so I'm going to share. And it's probably metaphorical. It's probably not. I'm not saying probably. It is a possibility. It's not a fact-based story, but it's a wonderful story. And it is fact-based, even if it didn't actually occur. All right? Stay with me. So one night, a man gets visited by Jesus. And Jesus asks him if he could join him the next day to be with him all day. And the man said, yes, I agree. Yes, you can join me. And then the man went to sleep and completely forgot he agreed to that. Which I have done, by the way. Do you ever agree to something and then forget you agreed to it? So he wakes up the next morning and there is Jesus sitting at his bedside, ready to start his day. And then the man remembered. So the man's going about his day. He's getting up. He's having breakfast. He's going to work. And he has interactions with people. And, the times when you're cut off in traffic. The times when the boss says something to you that you want to react to. All of that. Peopling, as I like to call it sometimes. But every single time these interactions would happen, the man would look at Jesus who was with him, and he would stop before he reacted. And I always imagine that Jesus has that smile that the character of Jesus had in Jesus of Nazareth, the beautiful eyes and the adoration smile as he's beaming at this man who's dealing with everyday human life. But what the man did is, rather than be a natural response to these interactions, he would look at Jesus and he would do what he think Jesus would do. And what he found after that day, more and more and more, it got comfortable for him to not need Jesus sitting there staring at him or standing there staring at him. He knew exactly what to do, and that was to react with love. It's all right. Go ahead, cut me out. It's all right. I'm going to send you that warmth, even if you're being rude to me. Even if you've done me wrong, I'm going to give you grace. I'm going to give you love. I'm going to give you compassion. So what I want to suggest to you, if you are open, as I always say, and you don't even have to make it Jesus, because the thing is, and it was made clear in this story as well, that whether you perceive Jesus or anybody of higher source with you or not, they're there. They're there. He gave permission to actually perceive. But that energy is watching anyway. So if it makes it easier for you, know in your imagination, in your knowing, that you are being looked at and being watched, what would you do? How would you react? Now, if you have a moment or two or three, and you react and go, I know, but it was so hard. It was so hard. That's okay. That energy is still going to love you. That energy is still going to smile at you. That energy is not going to walk away from you because you have a moment where you do something very human. All right? However, the more you can practice that, you will find that it's easier for you as well to give love. And then the more you give, the more you receive. You can't, though, give because there are, that's conditional. You can't give conditional love. It's unconditional. I am going to forgive them. I'm going to let this go. It has to be a calm feeling inside. And then you will notice, and it can be subtle, you will notice that things are happening for you. And the simplest thing will be, I had this happen to me yesterday. I was going to work and this car pulled up next to me and they decided they wanted to have their bass on their radio so loud that my car shook. And I couldn't hear my music. And I don't mind sharing with you all the goofy, wonderful music I was listening to. It was the Partridge Family, I Think I Love You. And I love singing that song. And I love doing a little movie with that song. And it was gone. I could not hear that song. That's how loud this was. So I gave a little glance over, but I couldn't see them. And by the way, I wasn't going to do anything with that glance. What I decided to do was just let it go. Let it go. I don't know why they wanted to be like that in community, in the public, but I'm just going to let them have their moment and let it go. And so what happens? The light turns and a car lets me go. It should have kept going. I should have had to wait to turn my left turn. But I didn't have to. I got to go first. That was the little reward I got for letting go of that moment. You see? When we let things get to us, and it's small things like that, and it's larger things, we have like a buildup that can happen when we don't let them go. When we let them get to us. That's why, if you might have heard this, I've heard this before, where people will go off on people, and the people that are having someone go off on them know it wasn't one moment, it was a buildup. They've been holding on to things, and then the moment came. That's what arguments are. The moment came, right? But you can prevent the moment by giving, again, I'm being told the word grace, giving that moment of grace, calm, letting it go, letting people be people. And then watch just that little moment may happen, or maybe a larger moment happens where you get a lot of generosity towards you, that you just see kind is coming at you. And I'm noticing that I'm liking people even more. Like I'm sometimes, I don't mind sharing this with you. Sometimes I give compassion when I'm not feeling it fully. But lately, this week especially, I've been feeling it more than ever. I've noticed that I'm not just giving the kind face, I'm feeling it within more than I ever have. Oh, yes, how are you? And meaning it. Not that I walk around the earth phony, but we can have moments where we're not feeling it fully, but we're just trying to be kind. I'm not trying to be kind. I'm just naturally being more kind. And so that's the benefit. That's the payout for connecting to God's source. So how do you connect to God's source? I'm going to tell you, if you listened before, get into that present moment. Get into a calm place. Do it privately. You can do it in the car. You can do it when you're alone in your home. You can do it in the shower. Just a private place. And all you have to say is, what do you want me to know? I'd like to connect with you. And you may get a feeling, a sense, a knowing. You might actually hear a voice. If you get nothing, the answer will come. It may come later that day or the next day or the day after, but it'll come. And it'll be it'll be like the same sign over and over again, like coincidences. Okay? And so, open the door. You are worthy. Again, it's asking for it, this energy. God is saying, listen to me. Listen to me. Because the world is changing into something it hasn't been before. I'm looking at my Secret Alignment series, and I want to say the world is out of alignment, but really it's not. It's getting into alignment. And so it's not recognizable, but at the same time it is, because it's going through healing. So for instance, there are people that are still healing from the Civil War, the American Civil War. They're still trying to regain, live that life. I get it, because it was never fully healed in their ancestry. I get it, all right? It doesn't mean I support any. Of course I don't. It should be obvious that slavery is wrong. And there are things that I would say, why isn't that obvious? Of course it is. What are you thinking? But yet, there are people that are bound and determined to keep a population down, to have power. And it's about unhealed wounds. So I can know that and not excuse it, but understand it. So that is playing out. If it weren't playing out here in the U.S., we wouldn't have red states and blue states. We wouldn't. There would be no need. There would just be people voting what they believe, their ideals, but not from a place of wounds, deep wounds. And so, it's not, again, it's for understanding, and we can't, and we shouldn't insult. We should try to understand, where could this be coming from? And then put good energy to it, because God understands where it's coming from. It's coming from free will. God gives us free will. And we always say, how could God let that happen? Because God gives us free will. Do you think really God wants a child killed? Of course not. But we are given free will, and we are given events in our lives that are meant, hopefully, to grow us, to cause us to make positive change, to say no, to say yes at times. So it's allowing. God allows, just as God asks us to allow. Not allow murder. I mean, allow us to be connected to God's source and to receive and to learn about love and to give us. Now, we're not under the thumb of a power that is choosing who to bless and who not to bless. All we have to do is ask for the blessings and allow. And again, there's never a need to live in fear. Absolutely never. And this God source, it is hard for too many to believe, and I want to say many. This God source is fine with us being wealthy. It's fine with us having whatever we are called to have. It doesn't want us harming each other for it. It doesn't want us focusing just on that. Meaning, it doesn't want us making money an idol. But of course it wants us to have food, a home, love, health. And it provides that for us. But we have to say yes. And it's really just about surrendering the yes and going, thank you. Thank you. Thank you for this life. And when it's hard, it's just growing us. And I almost talked all this today before I wrap it up. There are great teachers that I know. One is past and one is not. From the movie The Secret, the book The Secret. And I personally have met Mike Dooley, have a couple pictures with him. And Bob Proctor. And both of those men, actually, And Joe Vitale is one of those men too. They went through the worst of times before they got to the best of times. Joe Vitale was homeless. Mike Dooley's life crumbled. Bob Proctor had his car possessed. But they held out. They held out. They held out on a belief that thoughts become things. Beliefs can change. Paradigms can change. All you have to do is be persistent, be resilient. Know it's done. Neville Goddard, know it's done. You live it no matter what your environment looks like. And then, in the 11th hour, the riches arrived. And the riches arrived from the inside out, from the change. Change occurs first on the inside. I will say this to you probably every week. And I am a student of it and a teacher of it. And I just had it on this Sunday morning happen to me, where I had a moment. And I went, no, you are not that moment. You are larger than that moment. And then I went to log off my email. And when I went to log off, all these emails appeared with payments. And I went, oh, look what oh, yay, fun. This is actually my reaction. Yay, fun. Woohoo. You see, I caught myself in a moment going, are any payments going to arrive coming up? And then I went, you know they are. You know that Source provides for you. You feel it. You know that you are provided for. And then, boom. You see, that's how it works. It's resilience, though. It's test. It's challenge. And it doesn't have to come from a payment program, a payment source. It can come through unexpected, other people involved ways. That's the provision. You're worth it. Don't give up. Keep at it. All right? And remember, I'm here to assist you, and that digital product is there. And even if you don't like meditation, try it out. They're only, like, as I said, 6 minutes, 7 minutes. stan.store/SerenityHarbor. Try them out. I hope you will. And let me know what you think when you do, because it matters. It matters what you think. And also, follow me on Facebook under business page Lisa M. Hop, Spiritual Coach and Medium. Instagram, Spiritual Coach Lisa Hop. And if you are on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and share. But thank you also for connecting to me on Spotify, iHeart, all the platforms that you're finding me on. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It just makes my life. Thank you so much. It makes me smile. And I'm just so, so very grateful. Very, very grateful. Thank you. Have a wonderful Sunday if you're listening on Sunday. A wonderful week. And I'll talk to you next time.